Hello, everyone, and welcome to our after church tea time and Happy New Year. I hope you all had a good transition into 2024. This is the first after church tea time in the new year. And this is a good opportunity to really reflect on today's sermon and today's Sunday service that was about transition into 2020. That was about welcoming in the new year and really, reflecting on 2023 and all of these breakthroughs that happened there. And you are invited to participate in the comments as you are watching on Facebook or YouTube. So please feel free to reflect on your personal year in 2023. And by the way, I'm really happy to discuss this today with Christy and Rachel. So when we're looking back into 2023, how was your year? Is there anything that you remember immediately when you think about 2023?
Well, 2023, it's been a very busy year. A lot got done, moved through a lot of stuff, did a ton of healing, and everybody needs to do a ton of healing into their union. And I just wanted to say, don't feel bad about how long it seems to be taking for you. Obviously, it's going to be different for everyone, but when you do get there, when your union comes in, it's gonna become crystal clear as to why you needed all that time. It's happening so that you have a rock solid foundation for your union to stand on. Because many people came into union quickly, and then a huge block came up and they separated again, or they fell out of union because they had a weak foundation. And really, on this journey, you want to do the journey once and you want to do it properly. You can't skip any steps, because if you do skip steps, you will still have to go back and do them anyway. So this is a mantra that I've been giving myself. Quite a few people in the community have been doing this as well. Just take your time. You don't have to rush to get there. It doesn't matter how long it takes, if forever is the reward. And it's going to be like the separation was a blip that never happened. It will be completely forgotten, like the world of last night's dream. So wherever you're at, it's okay to be where you're at. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't tell yourself, well, I should have achieved this and this and this. Just relax into the journey, enjoy the journey. Go easy on yourself, have a lot of compassion for yourself, because at this stage, huge amounts of self-compassion are absolutely essential. Like, none of us are going to get any further unless we're super compassionate with ourselves. So cut yourself some slack, give yourself a break, relax, and choose to receive what 2024 is bringing you.
Oh, I love that, Rachel. Yeah, I can also relate, like, it was kind of building the foundation. I also hear it for a lot, also with my coach, like laying the foundation. I felt you have like a lot of compassion, like also why it takes you so long on the journey, right? It's now you understand like things from a different perspective, and also like Fabian shared, like what Rachel just said, like with this patience for yourself, and also like every day kind of, I remember even Chrissy said it to me in the session today we had, you have to kind of celebrate every baby step, right, to ground. Otherwise you cannot move forward on your journey. And you see like so many little details, also watching the classes, right, that you didn't see before. And I also felt like what Fabian shared in the sermon today too, like starting last year, coming closer as a collective, Also through the challenges sometimes coming up, right? Of course, like supporting each other more, and that will kind of just like you said, we built a momentum for 2024, that it's just that we are going deeper with each other, and of course in our harmonious unions too, like with our twin flame. It's kind of a natural side effect there, and that you're also more vulnerable, right? You're able to go more to places where you were not able the year before maybe, and like you really go deeper into healing and with God, and you can speak about more stuff. And I love to see how we are all growing, right? When we to witness that makes me really happy, like as a community, and celebrating our successes together. And I feel it as a collective, kind of a party year. It feels for me. I pulled also like a card reading for this year for myself and also for all in a way. Community card was the first one coming out. And also like women holding a heart, kind of, I feel like our value, like who we are as a child of God,
Yeah.
that I feel like as a collective that will happen this year, like our worth and who we really are. And of course, it's kind of like a firework to the collective, that everybody gets that at some point, and there will be no war anymore, right? There's no reason when everybody knows who they are. So that's like what I feel for last year and this year, kind of in conclusion.
Beautiful, yeah, that's amazing. And when I look into 2023, definitely can relate to a bit of growth personally, and also I think about our community's events. Like in the beginning there was of course the Sweet Spring fundraiser, and there was also the end of an era, right, in 2023, and that was that was quite a milestone, I guess, for all of us together, because something that had to be concluded to make room for something beautiful as a collective, and yeah, the result really was that we came together much closer, and there's really that feeling of, I guess, brotherhood and sisterhood in the community. It was there beforehand, but it's in a new way now, and I can really see, it in the face of a lot of people that I see in the community. It's just, this person is sharing a new Facebook update, and they really glow, and then I'm like, wow, how amazing is that? Yeah. And it's beautiful because it is happening, not just isolated, but really there's a trend that a lot of us are experiencing that. And that's beautiful because it really shows that there is a forward movement happening, and a divine plan unfolding behind the scenes, and now also more and more visible. Yeah, and since you mentioned, putting some cards for the new year, or was it for the old year? I guess for the new year. That's a great ritual to have. And how did you guys, go into the new year? Did you guys do anything specifically for that? For me, it's usually spending time with family, right? And I also enjoy pulling some cards for the new year, and just really pausing and reflecting on everything that happened in the past year a bit, and then with a new kind of vitality and freshness, and with a new intention going into the new year. At midnight of New Year's Eve, like transitioning to the new year, I always make a new choice, or I rather state a decree, in this case for my harmonious unit.
Yeah, it's funny that I was talking about something similar in the Friday Live the other week. Will this be the year for harmonious union? and you can choose your union at the beginning of the year. And believe me, I did this for years before coming into this work. But when you choose your union, then you'll be shown the steps you have to take in order to attain it, in order to get there. And before this work, I didn't have the tools to be able to take the steps, or when I was presented with a step, I didn't know what to do with it, or I'd go to my default reaction, which would have been to numb out and not work through things. But now, because everybody's journey is unique to themselves, everybody's got their own blocks, everybody's got their own level of difficulty. And however it is for you, please know that it's never going to be more than you can handle. Yeah, sometimes it is quite surprising as to how much we can handle, but something that my Kung Fu teacher said this week, you don't know what you're capable of. So, yeah, whatever you're showing, whatever challenge you're presented with, whatever steps you're presented with, you can choose to take them with a joyous heart. You can choose to let it be easy. That makes a big difference. Sure, it doesn't mean that there's not going to be challenges, but you don't have to make it any harder for yourself. You can make it as easy and as compassionate for yourself as it can be. Now, where was I going with this? So, yeah, we all know that harmonious union is coming, but none of us know when. So if you can be okay with the not knowing and not try and figure it out, because that uses up a lot of energy and it can be really stressful. And you don't have to do any of that at all, because God has already got it figured out for you. He always has done. So all you need to do is just work through the feelings that arise about your situation in the moment. Just do whatever's in front of you, even if it's an everyday, mundane, even a boring thing that seems unrelated to your union. It's all related to your union. And be compassionate with yourself.
That's beautiful, Rachel. Yeah, but I felt like for the new year, I was doing the Dreams Coming True equals, for example, at the end of the year again, right? It's perfect kind of to set new goals and the love list, like going through them again and what you can add, and as your visions of where you see yourself in 5 years, and kind of these exercises, right? And to add some things and that you learned that you don't like to. And so I also felt like, for example, last year I would have the energy because now I claimed like an additional job for myself because I'm calling in more abundance in my life. And I feel like last year I would not have the energy to do that kind of like in addition, but now I started this year already. And of course, it's like a lot also of effort and new input and stuff, but I felt so alive. And I watched just the class where Jeff shared about growing like your strength for eternity, right? Not feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm getting more tired the older I get, kind of this energy, right? But being inspired also from the master class, like with Martha Stewart and the others, right? What we kind of shared, like to learn from them. And she's 82 now, and she started her business when she was 50. And I was like, wow. So really kind of having also, like Fabian shared in the sermon, like with your muscles, right? Like to let them grow, but also like this breathing in and out, right? So that the work-life balance at the same time, but focusing on improving. And I remember Martha Stewart, for example, also said like to learn something new every day, right? To be open for that and never stop learning. And of course, we do that with the teachings of union every day, but also skills, what you're, like Rachel said, feel what you're capable of and didn't would think that before that you can, and what God has in store for us, like to become our best versions. And I'm also sometimes really amazed, but it's important to celebrate, like I said, these baby steps, right? And being proud of yourself. And at the same time, yeah, it's like really helping you to gain confidence. It's kind of like my topic, what I'm healing more about. And yeah, to think back like where you're coming from. And so, right, it's what we all see, and we will never stop growing in our inner spiritual muscles. It's what I feel, right? And so I feel that for all of us, and I'm looking forward to like where this will go the next years.
Yeah, it's a beautiful year ahead, I would assume. And you know, there are always some challenges to overcome, and I don't know what's ahead, but I know where it leads to more good. Yeah. But I have to agree with the masterclass, who is Martha Stewart. That is quite an amazing masterclass, and it's wow, it's very inspiring. You know, like she's 82 years old, as you mentioned, and extremely productive, and she's quite the professional and yeah, so successful. You know, and yeah, it's amazing to see that there doesn't have to be a retirement necessarily. And this is a core teaching in Life Purpose class as well, is that, yeah, you can follow your heart, and that energizes you and gives you vitality. And there is no retirement needed. There is no stopping really. It's just going to unfold and get better and better.
I even remember like Jeff and Shaleia shared it in class today, kind of no matter what it is, you can overcome it. And I feel that is automatically like growing your inner strength, right? Like that when you are like on the ascension journey and you're facing the upsets and what is in front of you, that's kind of a natural process, right? That it's happening, and that you change, like transform every day. And that's amazing. And I'm very grateful for that. But you will never stop. And I also loved when Jeff said today, like when there's a block, it's job to kind of slow you down. That was kind of like a huge insight for me. Okay, so you have to go within, kind of to breathe, right? Kind of like reflect a bit and stop. That's kind of the purpose of the block, is to stop you first, so that you reflect and go within and not pushing through, right? But really like going into the healing there, but that you can overcome everything. So, yeah.
I love the piece as well, when they shared about blocks being steps, right? And yeah, it's like a stepping stone to what you are calling in, and it can be a good sign if it sometimes is a bit difficult or challenging, because that is basically the growth that you called in and happening, right? It's like a challenge to help you grow into the version of you that you must be to have that new thing that you really want to experience.
Yeah, certainly blocks are not stops, they're steps. Every challenge that you move through is another slab in the foundation of the palace of your union. And when you begin the journey, things can feel worse, because the first thing you do when you build a foundation, you dig down because you want to build a skyscraper or a castle, and so it needs really deep foundations. And there's mud, there's sewage pipes, it's messy, it's unpleasant. But your amazing fireplace and wallpaper won't last very long without your foundation. And you never stop working on the foundation. You always keep going back to the basics, the mirror exercise, the working through the everyday stuff. Because what you do to keep your union around once it's come in is the same thing you do to manifest your union in the first place. That doesn't change. That's another mistake people make when they get into union. They think, right, that's it, and they put their feet up and start partying, and they can party themselves back into separation again, because when union comes in, it's going to bring with it a whole host of new challenges, but you're going to be working through them together. And certainly the challenges, if anything, they'll be bigger, but you'll be better able to move through them. You'll have more energy to move through them. You'll handle them a lot more easily. And the further you go in your journey, whether in union or not, all of a sudden, like, where do these huge, great big challenges come from? I thought I'd healed that. But yeah, it's like you said a few minutes ago, it's because you've earned these extra big, extra large size challenge. So you're able to handle it and move through it now, whereas you might not have been able to at the beginning. So it's really, you're being congratulated for your hard work, for how well you're doing. So congratulate yourself. There was a sometimes Ascension school class where Jeff said to Fabian, don't deny yourself the celebration of your breakthrough. Remember, he said, if you feel like breaking out the bubbly, do so. It's not about working and working and doing and just moving through everything. You are allowed to take breaks. You are allowed to enjoy yourself, to relax. In fact, rest and relaxation is as important as the inner work. You've got to do it in a balanced way. You're not slowing down by taking time for yourself. I mean, some days you might not feel like doing very much, and that's okay. Honor how you feel, honor your body, honor your guidance. You actually progress a lot faster if you do honor your need to take breaks and take time for yourself. Yeah, every moment of your day can be about loving yourself in so many different ways. Like, you can really get creative and use your imagination here.
Yeah, I kind of loved also like when Jeff and Shaleia say, for example, to put more like to fill your cup more up so that you can give more value, right? Like how to do that every day. And it's also about having your schedule, for example, that really having this frame that supports you completely. And it's also like with exercising, for example, or I admire that with Martha Stewart too, right? Like that she's at 5 a.m. every day, kind of like exercising. And I love also when Jeff said to be really like compassionate with yourself there and have patience, doing this baby steps, like when you have a goal, to not force yourself to do something and being hard with yourself, for example, with exercising or to implement new tasks in your schedule, but really like do achievable goals, right? Even if it's 1 minute, and then you're proud of yourself. And so you build confidence with yourself. And I feel that for the new year too, like with the new goals, right? Even if it's 1 minute to implement every day for your future goals, like to do it, it has like a huge impact on the seeds that we are planting and nurturing in our garden every day. And just like focusing on them, but also like being very, not like the world is kind of teaching, right? Just taking from yourself energy and sacrificing where you burn out, but this eternal garden. And of course, like when you do it with combined with the inner work, it's something else when you move your body around, or when you do yoga, or you can even do the mirror exercise there with you and love yourself, and all these places where others just push through, right? And with the bodybuilding and stuff and through the pain, but really like love yourself with the pain. And yeah, you know what I mean, like being very gentle and compassionate with yourself there. And that's kind of the new way that the teachings of union implement, so that you will not taking from yourself and build something for eternity. Yeah, it's also what I'm choosing for this year. And like you shared, Fabian, it's important to be flexible during the day, right? Like with God, that God sometimes has a different plan, even if you have your will aligned with God, but that you want to push through, but God says, no, we take a rest right now, right? And to really like trust God that He's preparing you perfectly to achieve the goal, but it might look differently than your plan in your mind, as right, that we see such from a little perspective and not from God's perspective, like what he has in store for us. And so to really let go of time, maybe sometimes, or what we think like, and being okay with every day kind of having some detours from God, right? To, yeah, being flexible. Like I also think like in Wing Chun, I think Rachel knows that about, right? It's kind of the same topic. So that when the wind or the storm comes, that you're kind of being the eye of the storm, right? And not really getting pulled into it, into the chaos. Yeah.
Well, I think Bruce Lee said, like, be like flowing water. Find the space through which you can flow. Yeah, and speaking of water, like now it's the new year, my local swimming pool is full of people who've made New Year's resolutions, and they're crowding the place out, and they won't be there for more than a month, most of them, because they have all these good intentions, but they don't have the consistency, or they overdo it. I mean, if you go to the gym and try and get ripped in one session and totally overdo it, you just end up not being able to move, and that doesn't help anyone at all because you're not making your workouts work for you. This is the same with the inner work. You can't cram all the inner work into a really short space of time and manifest everything you want. It's a cycle of work, rest, and play. And yeah, that's where taking your time comes into. I mentioned that at the beginning of the session. That's certainly a theme for today, as well as be compassionate with yourself. That keeps coming up. So certainly my takeaways. So go easy on yourself. Remember, you're only human. You don't have to be superhuman. You don't have to beat yourself up for not being superhuman. You are perfect the way God created you. God's not asking you to perform or to jump through hoops or to achieve a certain amount of things to please him. God already loves you unconditionally. That's how he created you. He created you as eternally loved. And so if you realize that love is here with you now, you can choose to be with love now, or choose to know that you're with love now. Then you need to put pressure on yourself to get to another place or another moment where the love is waiting for you, because it's not waiting for you. It's already here. You can claim it anytime you like.
Yeah, and on the spiritual journey, when you manifest a desire, there's usually a longer process involved, if that's the correct way to say it, because you're getting clear on it's a spiritual journey, right? You gotta take the spiritual journey to have the spiritual result and the reward, and you will have some blocks coming up and some feelings to move through, and it's a bit counter to what we usually do in the world. And while it might take a bit longer, it will also last. And it will be filled with meaning throughout. Every step that you are getting closer to it. And once you have it as well. And that's the beauty of the spiritual approach.
Yeah, you're making me think of the Knight of Pentacles in the tarot, because he's the slowest knight in the deck. But pentacles are about the physical. So it's a physical manifestation that's taking its time to come in, but when it does come, it's going to be solid. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to be fleeting.
No, I love that. Yeah, I also love cards. So thank you, Rachel, for the insight. Yeah, it's really true. And it's like you make the choice, and then God is showing you the steps and the blocks, right? And like Fabian shared in the sermon too, like with this turning point, it's really when you completely like are in alignment with your vibration, what your goal or your dream is, then it manifests on the outside. And that is like all this purification of our consciousness, right? The spiritual journey to really reach this inner vibration. That it's just a magnet, right? You just attract your desire when you're complete like in alignment and you feel it on the inside, and kind of like you just know it's yours. Of course, like we know that, but we also feel like when we achieve something, like wow, that before I had to be done first, otherwise I would not be ready, or, right? I would not be here yet. And I also loved like from a class, I remember Jeff shared something. It was the stronger you are, the easier your life is. And kind of the weaker you are, the more difficulty you experience during your day. So it's really all about like gaining more and more strength on your journey, and then you feel more relaxed. It's kind of like this mastery, right? That the fear is gone. So the tension of the body goes more out. You're more relaxed, and you attract more and receive more love and God. And yeah, that's the goal of perfect union, right? There will be no fear anymore, and you're just one with God and your twin flame. And yeah, it's cool, like to feel and relax already into that, knowing that this is kind of like the goal of the journey, to just feel more relaxed and easier to manifest everything. Sometimes I think Yogananda said it in the autobiography of a yogi, right? With this manifesting the palace, or he could kind of do it or see that it was able to, or that it was happening. Even you don't need that right every day, but it's working. Like when you're really kind of this mastered, how fast you can manifest something.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And really, in this new year, 2024, we can just continue this journey of manifesting heaven on earth. I'm just looking at Rachel's background there. All right, that feels good so far. Do you have any comments, or do you guys have anything else that you maybe, picked up from the sermon that you want to mention?
I'm feeling pretty complete myself.
Perfect. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining today, and please consider contributing to the Church of Union's message to the world by donating or tithing, and you can visit unionism.org to learn more on that, where you can also research more about the Church of Union's mission, as well as watch any past Sunday services as well. So have a beautiful new year ahead, new year 2024, and have a blessed year ahead. And thanks so much again, and we will see each other soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.